In this video, we'll be taking a look at yet another case of a Reddit rage channel having double standards and turning out to be a massive hypocrite. So, in case you weren't in the loop, the new Yakuza game just came out, and today, we'll be talking about the new English voice actor for the main character Kiryu, or as you might know him, the biggest Soyboy Reddit bait channel on YouTube, YongYea.
Soylent has fit perfectly into my life. The package I received was the variety pack. I tried every single one of these, and not only did I think that they were all delicious, I also loved how creamy and smooth the drink's texture was. I actually looked forward to drinking Soylent every day, be it before or after a workout or before or after a meal. And beyond that, the 20 grams of soy-based protein that each bottle offered was perfect for my dietary needs during my bulking phase.
Now, to give you guys a little bit of a context as to who this guy is, he is your typical run-of-the-mill, big company bad, loot box bad, microtransaction bad, article reading channel, who just sits on r/gaming all day and echoes the popular opinion. And as it turns out, when you use Reddit to think for you, it leads to him being notoriously disingenuous and hypocritical. You can probably find a million examples of the former, since he doesn't have a single clue of anything he's talking about when it comes to the video game industry. And to give you some examples of the latter, one of the most infamous situations he covered was the Fallout bag situation. So basically, in one of his videos, he opened the Fallout 76 Collector's Edition package and had this to say about the bag.
Here it is now. Inside here was this bag, which, yeah, it's just a bag where you can put stuff in it, as you do with bags. Pretty nice. I might use this for, long trips and whatnot if I need to carry some stuff.
So, as you saw in that clip, it's a pretty normal reaction to a pretty normal looking bag. So, not only did he not mind the material of this bag, but he also said he might put it to use. Well, as it turns out, Reddit was not pleased with this bag's material, and when YongYea found out, here is what he had to say.
It's all very much like being told we would get a nice canvas bag, only for them to pull the rug under us and give us a crappy nylon bag instead. What Bethesda pulled here with a duffel bag and the way they thought they could get away with it is the perfect encapsulation of everything Fallout 76 represents. A company that has stopped giving a shit. Seriously, Bethesda, what the hell are you doing? You honestly thought nobody would bat an eye to this? That this would in any way be okay? What kind of morons do you take us for?
In the ironic twist of events, YongYea turned out to be the exact type of retarded moron who had absolutely no problem with the material of this bag, who he is talking about right here. And he wouldn't have an issue with it to begin with, if it wasn't for r/gaming having a problem with it. Yeah, really puts this man's full credibility on display here. And you might think that, oh, maybe he just didn't know they promised a different material or some shit like that. Well, allow me to present you with Exhibit B, when he willingly agreed with CD Projekt Red to mislead people with his review of Cyberpunk 2077. Now, if you don't remember, the review process prior to Cyberpunk's launch has been a complete and utter fucking joke. Basically, reviewers had to use cherry-picked footage provided to them by CD Projekt Red themselves and weren't allowed to use their own footage until after launch, so that the people who pre-ordered this game would be completely in the blind about the game's actual state and would stay that way until they could no longer cancel their pre-order. So knowing this, did YongYea A. take a stand against such a practice, or B. go blindly along with it? Submit your answers in the comments now, because here is the answer.
Every facet of the game, I've never played a game quite like this. This is the Cyberpunk game. There have been other games in the Cyberpunk genre, and I think that once they get the bugs sorted out, Cyberpunk 2077 is gonna surpass all of them by a mile. It's just, it is that good when things are running well. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is part 1 of my review. I hope to be able to show you more of my gameplay in part 2 and highlight what I mean with some of these issues, but also really spotlight the incredible achievement that is this game.
So as you can see, he went along with the deceptive review process with no questions asked, and willingly participated in misleading people about the true nature of this game. And once he started catching shit for that, he issued an apology where he admitted to lying about his opinion of the game, and he unlisted his review. Yes, I say unlisted and not deleted as he claims.
So I've reviewed quite a number of games throughout the years, and I don't think I've ever once deleted a review. even for reviews that the community, a large portion of the community disagreed in terms of my opinions, I held my ground because I felt it was ultimately my genuine opinion of the game after having played it extensively. But with Cyberpunk 2077, it's different because this is a review where I feel I certainly didn't do my due diligence.
And then there is also the fact that, despite going after big companies whenever they do something that Reddit deems as bad, there is one company that is an exception to this, and that being Sony. Whenever it's EA or Activision that has a controversy, YongYea is quick to get on his high horse and echo the popular opinion from Reddit, but when it's Sony that's at the chopping block, he is either radio silent or goes as easy as he possibly can on them without getting backlash. And if you're wondering why that is the case, well, that brings us to the main topic of this video, and that being that as any good little lapdog, he will never bite the hand that feeds him, as he is the voice actor in dubbed anime, the industry for which is owned in large part by Sony. And as I mentioned in the intro, that also led him to being a voice actor in the English version of the new Yakuza game, and for none other than the main character Kiryu. Now, there's already a problem in replacing a voice actor for an already established character, but the problem increases exponentially when the new voice is nowhere near similar to the old one.
Unfortunately for you, I've always used my fists to get to know someone.
Turn around now, and you can go home in one piece.
Now, not only was YongYea not a good fit for the character in the slightest, but he also put minimal effort into recording the voice lines. Just listen to some of them. And apparently, he also shared this video on Twitter, meaning that these ones must be good, right? Well, just take a listen to these compared to the Japanese counterparts and be the judge of that.
余計な話はいい。例の人物について。
Let's cut the chit-chat. You got any info for me?
日本人。確かなのか。
Japanese. You're sure about that?
いい加減な情報だな。
Some help that is.
なんだそれ。
They what?
そいつの特徴。他に何かないのか。
So he was naked. Anything else stand out?
タトゥー。
A tattoo.
調子に乗るな。そいつの行方は。
Don't test me. So where is he?
Like, this is a level of voice acting you'd hear from a low-budget indie game and not a AAA release like this. Oh, and if you thought that was bad, it gets way worse when you hear the karaoke song clip. And well, prepare your brain cells for this.
We're breaking the law, breaking the world together, throwing out all tenderness, we're breaking the rules. No cause, no choice, no going back to how it was. No slowing down because we'll keep our heads high. Our fists raised till we die. We're living by our own judgment.
And yes, to address the elephant in the room right now, that song was indeed auto-tuned. If you stop looking at the lyrics and just pay attention, you can easily notice it. Like earlier, I said his voice acting is something I'd expect in a low-budget indie game. However, as for this was the first time in my life that I heard autotune unironically being used in a video game, period. I am not joking. You guys remember when the voice actor for Frollo in The Hunchback of Notre Dame took lessons so that he can sing his part properly? Well, I guess expecting YongYea to do something like that is asking for a little bit too much. And it is endlessly ironic when you consider YongYea is always the first to jump on companies for lack of effort. And considering this take ended up being in the final game makes you wonder, were they genuinely that tired of trying with him that they just said, fuck it, we'll use the least shitty one and just auto-tune it? Because that is genuinely what it feels like. But going back to the point of his voice being way too different to the original voice actor of Kiryu, let's take a look at yet another piece of hypocrisy from YongYea, which I purposefully saved until now. So when it was announced that Mario would be getting a new voice actor in the movie, this is what YongYea had to say. Yeah, sure, let's get Chris Pratt to do an imitation of Mario for the animated Mario movie, instead of getting, you know, the literal authentic voice of Mario for 3 decades to play the real deal. Let's relegate Charles Martinet to special cameos instead. The thing about Chris Pratt voicing Mario is he's not coming up with a new voice for a new character. It's someone very iconic and recognizable. He doesn't have to go 100% Charles Martinet, but Mario sounding mostly like Chris is jarring. I hope future trailers change my mind. Now keep in mind, this was all over seeing a trailer, and here is what YongYea had to say about him being the new voice actor for Kiryu.
And so already there's all kinds of discussions raging online, and I'm like, this is not unexpected at all. I've been covering games for well over a decade now. I know exactly what this roadmap looks like. There's going to be mixed reception. It's going to take time for people to get used to my version of Kiryu.
So when Mario gets a new voice actor for the movie, that is a problem, but when YongYea replaces an already established voice actor for Kiryu, now all of a sudden he's going full 180. Yeah, guess he didn't really like being on the other side of those same comments that he threw at that guy, huh? Again, keep in mind this is the same guy who built his entire online personality around criticizing others, yet now, when he is the one receiving criticism, he suddenly cannot take it, despite what he claims. How ironic.
But to really get a good idea for what my performance will be like, you have to play the game. So I'm not going to like engage or indulge in any of that discussion. I'm just going to wait patiently until the games come out, and then people can judge and they'll say what they'll say.
Did you hear that, guys? So it's fine for him to judge the new voice actor for Mario from the trailers, but if you want to judge YongYea as the new voice for Kiryu, the trailers are not enough. You must play the actual game. Well, now that the game is out, I hope it's okay to judge. I mean, according to YongYea, it should be, right? Well, think again, as if you dare to criticize him, keep in mind, not even shit talk him, just criticize him in any way, shape or form, he will instantly go on a massive blocking spree. Doesn't matter if you sugarcoat it to the max or how polite or respectful you are. If you do not suck his dick unconditionally, you're getting blocked by him. I mean, just look at some of these hidden replies under his tweets. I swear, it's always the same story with these Reddit bait channels. They have such a fragile ego that the second someone disagrees with them on any level, they will do anything in their power to hide their criticism or run as far away from it as they possibly can. This is how much of a pussy this guy is, and it is absolutely fucking pathetic. And the whole situation gets 10 times funnier when you realize not only is he being a massive hypocrite, not only is his foreskin this thin that he is blocking even the people who respectfully criticize him, but he is also blocking people who make jokes he doesn't like. Just look at this. This is a picture he took when he met the Japanese voice actor for Kiryu. And if you notice that he's doing the soy jack pointing meme in the picture, well, first of all, you weren't the only one, and second of all, this wasn't on purpose, as he is unironically blocking people who mentioned it. Seriously, you cannot be this unself-aware. This motherfucker might genuinely be fucking retarded. I refuse to believe someone this fucking stupid genuinely exists. This is YongYea for your bitch ass. He has always been like this, he is never changing, and at least now people seem to be actually catching on to the type of person he really is. Again, it is endlessly ironic how someone who is so happy to criticize others cannot take criticism himself. But then again, that is to be expected, as you know what little bitches on Reddit always say, in regards to criticism in particular, if you can't beat them, block them. So I guess the moral of this story here is, new voice actors bad unless I am the new voice. So yeah, that's pretty much all the important shit out of the way. You could probably write a whole book on YongYea and his pathetic handling of this entire situation, but then again, it's YongYea, so you would probably lose more brain cells than you can count. So yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Thank you to these channel members who embrace the chat Doom Guy and earned a shoutout. Be sure to like and subscribe to boost me in the algorithm. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.